Hey guys, we hosted a gravel race and we raced the race and Chase set up the route and then we helped her set up and Jesse was an hour late to setting up like every race that we host.
Was it?
Yes,
Yes.
you were an hour late.
That's fine.
It's not.
It's fine for you because then you get out of all the setup.
I put up a tent. I was busy with stuff.
I wish there was a secondary camera on my face right now.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh.
This past weekend, we hosted our gravel race, Karst Crusher, in Brown County, so it's like 20 minutes west of us, and it's our local gravel roads. This was the 4th year that we've hosted this race, and every year, Jesse and Trey get to race it, which is cool.
This is the first time I've raced it. I haven't raced it before.
You raced it last year.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did. I can pull up the results.
I'm pretty sure you raced it last year.
No, I did the aid station with Dave. This is my first time getting to do this race.
Okay, this is our local gravel race. This is Jesse and Trey's recap of it.
I had to remake a whole route because it's flooded on the normal route.
And the tornadoes.
And
there was a tornado.
5 tornadoes in Nashville and Columbus, Indiana.
Whenever we were on the neutral rollout, if you looked on the left, you could see the tornadoes path. Karst Crusher is normally a little bit of a adventure-y kind of event.
I wouldn't say adventure-y, just less gravel, more off-road.
Yeah, we pushed the event back 2 months and the flood was still there. There's like a couple roads that have been flooded for going on 4 months now, something like that. And ultimately we just decided to make a new route. We took the existing short route and basically added another 25 miles to it. And the result was a really fast gravel race, I would say. I mean, it was pretty...
Just a good gravel route. A lot of people like that better because a lot of people don't like doing off-road on their gravel bike, which makes total sense.
I think that's fair, yeah.
I think only one person was like, I like the off-road stuff better. They weren't complaining about the new course. They just like the single track sections of the old course better.
I'm the guy who likes the single track stuff. My current thought is we make this the permanent route. I am asking for y'all's opinion on that, especially if you participated. It wasn't easy. It still had like 4,500 foot of climbing, but it definitely was not technical by any means.
No.
We averaged 20 miles an hour in our group of 6 leaders, I would say. So it was pretty fast. I'm really curious what y'all think about that.
What is there to think
About what?
It's just like a fast gravel.
If people want it to be the permanent course or if we should go back to the old course.
I think the old course dissuaded a lot of people from coming. I know a lot of people that are like, no, I'm not doing that race because it's awful.
People.
Yeah. Real quick, y'all, if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have tons more videos coming out like this. We also have a mountain bike race later on this year. It's September 6th in Brown County. All the details are on our website or in the links below. As of right now, we might have to alter the course, but we're still gonna do the event. So it's not gonna be canceled. It's locked. We're gonna do the event, but the course might have to change just due to the weather. Like,
dude, it's down country. You know, climbing over down trees is just some down country stuff.
Or we'll just make y'all hike through the trail. That'll be fun.
No, I don't think the trail will be that bad by then. One of the guys I coach rode a lot of the down country course, and he was able to do
He was able to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's doable.
Technically, the trails are closed, and so the DNR would have to approve it, and they might not. And so that's a little bit out of our hands, but we'll keep y'all updated. The race is happening regardless. And if you want anything that we are talking about in this video, like Cervelo smart packs that we literally
We sell at least one a day. So if you guys want a Cervelo smart pack, hit us up because we got a lot of them.
Are our 2 best-selling bikes of the year, the Enve Mog and the Allied Able. Enve wheels, whatever y'all want, you can order on the website or reach out via email. I got 4th in the race.
Jesse got 5th. Look up the results.
Yeah, that's what the question is. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, we used a ship timing for the race, and I out-sprinted Tony Gumbel for the 4th place. There was a group of 4 of us. Because I did the pre-race meeting, I was the first person to cross the timing mat at the start,
Yeah.
and Tony crossed it like 20 seconds later.
At the start.
Yeah. And finished whatever 15 seconds behind me, but sniped me on the standings because his time for the whole course was half a second faster than me, even though I sprinted him.
If you guys ever host a bicycle race and you hire a company to do your chip timing, make sure you clarify it's not a marathon. The timing starts when the race starts, not when each individual person crosses the mat. Because they timed it like it was one big KOM segment on Strava.
Yeah.
Jesse was the only one with the issue with this.
I almost made them change it whenever I was talking to them after the race, but it would have altered a lot of results. So I decided that it was probably just okay that I got relegated in our own race. I relegated myself. I'm gonna keep using that word.
I just think it was funny that the timing company thought that's how to...
I'm gonna talk to them. They told me that it doesn't make sense to go off the gun time. We had about a 2-mile neutral roll. There was a hack that you could have performed where...
You could have just waited at the start for probably 4 minutes.
I think you could have waited 4 minutes.
The lead group because the rollout was chill.
I think you could have waited 2 or 3, maybe even 4 minutes, and then caught back on, and then had a 4-minute time bonus.
That would have been hilarious.
But that's something that we're gonna definitely change in the future. I think it makes sense if you are running a race like Leadville, where there's a huge crowd, because that's how Leadville works. That was what the timing company was telling me. They were like, well, this is how all the Athlinks races work. So most of the Lifetime races work like that too. For our race, where we had a legitimate neutral roll that you could not progress the race, yeah.
This is like a 100-person race.
Yeah.
It makes sense at the big races where the time between the first person and the last person is probably 3 minutes because it takes that long to get the whole field across the line. But our race took like 30 seconds to get everybody across the line.
Yeah, and luckily, I don't think Tony would ever argue that he got 4th. Like he put that he got 5th in his Strava.
Yeah.
Tony's awesome. Definitely follow him. That was just so funny when I finished and I looked at the results and it said I got 5th and I was like, what? If you guys have an opinion about timing strategies, let me know. And I might have discovered a hack on getting an advantage in some races.
So the race, what percentage of gravel would you say? Probably like 75?
I
maybe?
actually think it's closer to like 65.
Decent amount of road in there. And I know...
No, you're right. It's like 70.
I know the first section of gravel was pretty smooth, but I also knew the second section of gravel was pretty like loose and deep and slippery. I wanted to experience racing on 45s because gravel bike companies keep making bikes that only fit 45s, and you know, I just wanted to see what that was about.
Dude, shout out to you for taking one for the team.
I took one for the team. I tried it. I wanted to see like what it was about. So I ran the Specialized Pathfinders in 45s. I've ridden quite a few 45 mil gravel tires now, and these are one of my favorites. I'm not saying they're the fastest or the best or anything, but they're really good at a lot of stuff. All in all, racing gravel on 45s is terrible. You get like this much advantage on the road because you have skinnier tires. And you get this much advantage when you're going up a steep climb because your tires weigh 100 grams less. But everywhere else, you're at like this much of a disadvantage. Like anytime we were on a flat or downhill or chunkier gravel section, it was awful. I was like bouncing around. I could feel myself having to pedal harder than normal because I usually race on these tires or Conti Race Kings or something along those lines. And racing 45s is just not it, even on a race that has 65% road.
What was your tire pressure?
I ran like 22, 23, I think.
Okay, so you're
maybe
pretty
23,
low.
24,
You're pretty low.
I don't know, somewhere right around there. About as low as I would feel comfortable going on 45s, not trying to hit my rims. I raced the Elite gravel wheels they sent us, and I actually really like these wheels. They are way better than racing on 45s. The wheels are good. The tires were not it for this race. Everything else was my normal gravel setup. Enve Mog, of course, and you raced on a more normal for us gravel setup.
So before the race, I was debating what wheel set to run. Me and Trey were here is like a little bit after we closed, and we did a little bit of like a weighing situation. The 4.5s are actually lighter than these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than 100 grams, but
yeah,
close to 100 grams, I think, somewhere around there.
This inner drive hub is way faster than the Zip hub. I don't think anybody would argue with me on that. I was thinking that because it wasn't as rugged of an event, that I would to enjoy what I would presume would be a little bit faster wheel set, and I went for it. I ran 17, 18 PSI. Do you think that this was aero with this big of a tire over the top?
I think so.
It was. I can tell y'all it was. This is the twist. I actually would have rather had these during the race. So I can confidently tell you now that with this big of a tire, the zipper doodle is faster. It feels more aero with these big of tires, and the handling is much better. Me and you had the fastest downhilling of the day. I was looking back at the times. Well, you did, and I was a few seconds back from you. The tire definitely felt vaguer on this rim than it does on this rim at about the same tire pressure.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Because all of the first reviews we heard from other people riding those are like super vague.
I think they're vague. With the big tire, they're not. That's what I think. I think that's what's going on. I don't think that running the 4.5s was wrong at all. Like, at all. I had a great race on them. But I could tell that I had a little bit more tire roll. I needed to put more air in it.
That's what I was assuming.
With this, I don't need to put as much air, though.
These are also narrower tires than those, and you...
Well, I would have put those tires on these wheels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I would have ran those at the same pressure, and it would have been great on this rim, whereas on the 4.5...
It does make more sense to run lower pressure on that rim because the tire gets wider when you put it on there.
Yeah.
So you probably needed to go up a PSI or so.
I think so. That was a fun little test, I thought. Otherwise, it was a great wheel set to run. I think had I been running 50s, I think the turning point between these two wheel sets is legitimately 50 millimeters. I think if you're above 50s, I would prefer this. If you're 50s and below, I would prefer this. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
And I think that's also evident in just the rim inner with like 25 internal.
Probably also depends on the course, whether you want that 100 grams of weight saved or slightly more aero with the wider ones.
Yeah, minor detail also. I love both these wheel sets, so don't get me wrong in this situation, but I just wanted to try it. And just so we're clear, these are the 225 Berts that I ran. This was also the second race that I did on the Able, and super confident in it just being an amazing bike. We're gonna be doing Mog versus Able. I think we're gonna do a whole series about that. You know how we did the BC40 versus Epic? I effectively want to do the same thing again with this bike. And just wanted to give everyone a quick update. I am now running an Enve SES AR bar on this stem, and it has zero issues whatsoever. Both me and our buddy who I talked about in that War Daddy video who had the issue with the zip bar, we switched to the Enve bars, and the clamping surface is greater, and so it has no problems anymore. I thought that was a good update to make in this video.
The zip bars are slipping.
Yeah, the zip bar slips. Well, it slips if you hit something hard.
Yeah.
I think if you're just riding casually, it'll probably be okay. Because of the way the zip bar is designed, there's not actual material here for the clamp to clamp onto.
On the zip bar.
On the zip bar.
Yeah, because the hoses run like there, sideways through the bar.
Whereas the Enve bar is a full circle that it's clamping all the way around. And
more
so
clamping area.
I think Allied has also communicated that the new zip bars are not compatible with their stem. And that actually, I know this is another side note, but what bikes does that bar even work on? Because it doesn't work on any bikes, really.
I don't know.
It doesn't work on the Mog.
Definitely doesn't work on this bike.
It doesn't work on this bike.
Just normal bikes where you don't run the hose through the stem. I don't know.
It works on Cervelo. That's the only one I can think of. I kind of think Zip should redesign that.
Maybe.
There's like tons of popular bikes that it doesn't work on, and I think that's kind of an issue.
If the bar is the reason it's slipping and not the stem, sounds like a bar issue.
I think it was, yeah.
We started the race and I was really, really sick, kind of like I am now, except I was way worse for the race, so I didn't have a very good race. Tied for the KOM up the first climb with Kyle. During the rollout, my heart rate was like 165, which is low threshold heart rate for me, and the rollout was at like zone 1 power for me. During the rollout, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a really, really bad day.
It was a chill rollout.
Yeah, I shouldn't have started. We'll just put it there. And I raced with Kyle until halfway through or so, and then you guys caught us.
There was 2 different instances of us getting dropped and then catching back on.
Yeah, me, Kyle, and Calvin Conway dropped everyone up a climb, and then they eventually caught back up because once we were over the climb, we kind of just set it at like hard tempo and we're rolling.
There's a little bit more nuance to that. That some of those efforts we were doing to catch back on were pretty good.
Our efforts were hard tempo.
Yeah.
So you guys should have caught back on, yeah.
No, but I know, but
Once they caught back up the second time, up the final climb, final really hard climb, Kyle went away by himself and put a minute into us up that climb. And then I stayed with that group for the next, I don't know, however many miles.
it was like 10 more miles.
Until we got to the second aid station, and I just pulled over at the second aid station and ate some snacks and drank some water and got some energy back in me, then just rolled on to the finish because I was thoroughly dying at that point. Moral of the story, if you're sick, don't try to race your bicycle.
How was your race, Jesse?
It was really good.
Jesse probably had his best gravel race ever.
Possibly, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Up the first climb, made it to the top and got dropped over the top. My climb segment time was only a few seconds back from y'all, but like where I got dropped was after that.
On like the rollers.
Yeah,
after
me and Tony and I think Taylor was there too.
I mean, eventually there was like 20 guys that caught on after
Yeah,
the
the first group to catch back on was like the three of us, and we caught back on to you guys. We had the group of 6 of us. It was me, you, Kyle, Tony, Taylor, and Calvin.
Yeah, and then Austin caught up. or
Austin
something
pulled
like that.
the main
Yeah.
group to us. That was actually not 30 seconds later. It was like 4 or 5 miles later.
That seems far, but
Yeah,
okay.
because we rode the entire Grand V gravel stretch by ourselves, like with just the 6 of us.
Yeah.
They caught us in the Hoosier National Forest. Then we rode as a big group for a bit. Eventually, we were rolling into Houston before the big climb, the where the split in the road is, in the courses. And actually, I had the same plan as Kyle. Kyle's just stronger than me. That little pavement kicker, Kyle went real fast up it, and I tried. I got gapped on it from you 3. And then big shout out to Mark O'Leary, who is the race promoter for Dust Bowl. If you watch this channel, I'm guessing you know what Dust Bowl is. We're friends with Mark. Shout out to Mark. Definitely check out his race. Mark was doing the short race, and we were about to hit the split where he was gonna split. He had won the short race like already. All he had to do was ride in and he was gonna win that. You guys got me up that climb and he said, "Hey Jesse, if you want, I'll pull you back to the group." And I was like, sure. And Mark put in this crazy effort down that long pavement climb, down the long pavement descent, basically got me all the way back into the group. And that was right before we turned to go up the long gravel climb to where your mom was at the aid station. Thanks to Mark, because I probably would have been dropped otherwise. I don't know.
I talked to him about that when he rolled in, and he was like, yeah, that did me in. I'm glad I did the short route because I had absolutely nothing left after that.
Yeah, I mean, he was crazy. Like he went real
He
fast.
said his goal was just to see like how long he could hang on with all of you guys.
Yeah, he made it to the split. The Buffalo Pike climb, which is one of the biggest climbs of the day.
That one was big.
Yeah,
That was Aid 1 climb?
That's the Aid 1
yeah,
climb.
that's a hard climb.
You and Kyle and Calvin had about 20 seconds on us, maybe 30 seconds. I could see you guys the whole
Calvin
time.
and Kyle put, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds on me on the climb.
Yeah,
but
and then
I
I
caught
was-
him on the descent, and then there was a right-hander onto the road, and I caught him right onto the road.
I dropped Taylor and Tony on the downhill because me and you got the KOM on that downhill.
I got it.
You got it, but I got it. If you weren't there, I would have got it. We were both downhilling faster than everybody else. Tony and Taylor caught back onto me, and we did quick pulls to catch back on. That was pretty hard. We were going pretty quick to catch back on. I think you guys had like a quarter mile or so on us at that point. We could see you, but it was a gap. We rode together for a while, and then we did that mommy climb, and Kyle decided to be done.
Done with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped us for sure.
You dropped
up
us.
that one.
I was talking to you about this, and I regret not trying to go with him because I had the energy to give it a shot. I'm not saying I would have beat him up the climb, but I think I could have at least made it up the first pitch with him for sure. I don't know on the second pitch what would have happened, but because I had basically sat up, I wasn't really pushing that hard up the climb. I was just kind of rolling with what everyone else was doing. You had already told me you were done.
I was done. After the climb that me, Kyle, and Calvin dropped you guys and you caught back the big one, that's when I was like, I should not be racing. I was hurting so bad.
I was making decisions knowing that you were done. the decision I should have made was to try to go with Kyle. If I would have made it 10 minutes with Kyle, I would have been able to probably hold on, because the rest of the ride from that, remember I tried to do those digs, I tried to drop everybody down Tower Ridge Road, and it wasn't enough to break the group up. And eventually I quit trying to break the group up because it was stupid. And I was like, we're just gonna sprint this out. That was what I decided to do. We still were going pretty quick, but rolled the rest of the race in. Well, Trey stopped at the aid station. None of us did. We just kept going. Because I think if anybody else in that group stopped, I wasn't stopping, so they were gonna lose, right? Yeah, that's what happened. I didn't tell them that. I was actually hoping they would stop, but no one did. I was hoping somebody else would stop.
Really, there's no reason to stop in a 60-mile race.
No, I was really hoping they were gonna stop though, because that's all I needed. End of the race, the last climb is a pavement climb. All of us, we all
What
went.
happened up that climb? Because it's kind of hard.
It's hard enough to drop
Yeah,
the group.
yeah.
We all went into it like fast. Like we were all like, I'm gonna go. And then we all went at the same time. And then everyone quit halfway up the climb. We were
Because
like,
it's hard.
well, we had already all like went for it attacking, but none of our attacks mattered because everyone attacked at the same time. And so we were just like, oh, who cares?
Then you throw down a second attack and drop them all.
Yeah, at that point, Tony and I were cramping up. I think everybody in the group was pretty dead.
Yeah.
I needed like 10 ounces of water. I did the whole race with 2 26-ounce bottles, which was enough to finish, and I cramped up in the sprint. So I made it the whole 3 hours, but in the sprint, I cramped and was 4th overall. Tony cramped too, but I was still faster than Tony into it. And then the whole time we were racing, I knew Calvin was gonna be the one to look out for on the finish, because he races cyclocross and the finish is like through a parking lot. And I figured that he would have the best handling skills through there.
It's a gravel driveway into a campground.
It's like a campground,
You come in
yeah.
on a road that's slightly downhill, and you come into a super sharp bending left-hander. You come into that at like 20 something because it's slightly downhill.
From pavement onto gravel.
Onto gravel, you definitely have to slow down a lot, and then you take that big sweeping left-hander, and then it starts sweeping to the right, and then it's kind of like windy to the finish. Since there's 2 big turns, and then it winds and it's super narrow. In my mind, if I was coming into that in a sprint, you have to win the first corner, and whoever wins the first corner wins the race. That's just me.
There's a good half a mile there of like kind of straight gravel. I was thinking that after the turn, I could attack there. It's not
It'd be really hard to
technical.
come around someone, and it'd be almost impossible to go through the 2 winding turns side by side. Whoever comes in first will come out of that second winding turn with a little bit of a gap.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not been in too many sprint finishes in
Yeah.
my career, so
You gotta think about that stuff.
I'm learning, but I had a really good day out there. I normalized like 280.
Yeah, we
for the
normalize
3
the
hours.
same, which I think just goes to show how slow these tires are on gravel, honestly.
I honestly agree, because
Yeah, because normally my power is significantly lower than Jesse's. And I spent a lot of time, almost the whole race, drafting people because I was dying.
yeah,
Which is not normal for me.
you could tell too. You were not
I
smooth.
had to work
it
the
was
bike.
not smooth to.
It was like,
yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain once you've been riding mountain bike tires on gravel for like over a year now, and then switching to 45s. It's awful. I don't know why people make bikes that only fit 45s and call them a gravel bike, because you can't race gravel on 45s.
Definitively.
I will never do it again after that experience.
I thought the race went really well though. That was fun.
We had a good turnout, and a
Yeah.
lot of people were really happy with how the race went. We had a lot of snacks and drinks at the finish, which is always cool.
Now we have basement snacks.
Now, if you guys didn't know, we host a race and we buy a ton of like aid station snacks and post-race snacks in the form of bags of chips. And whenever there's leftovers, we put them in a giant tub and put them in the basement of the shop. And now we have a big tub full of basement snacks. And every day during lunch, you just walk down there and get some basement snacks. And it's pretty cool.
It's probably the best perk of this job,
Yeah,
right?
so if you guys ever want to like support the shop but don't want to buy anything from us, buy a box of chips and send it to us, and we'll put it in our basement snack box. That'd be cool.
We have room upstairs for it, but it's basement.
No,
No,
it
it's
has to be, it has to be
it has
basement
to be
snacks.
basement snacks.
You have to go to the basement to get the snacks.
Thanks everybody for coming out. A special shout out Timmy Hot Dog Howard. He is our buddy and he is the photographer. If you were at the event, you hopefully got to see the photos. They're all free for y'all to use and post. Appreciate all the support. We'll hopefully see y'all at the next event, Hoosier Down Country, September 6th. What town?
Bye, everybody.